to go ahead and ensure say wobebo bosia na wodi make sure say project ahodo a esi nani so say afi mu obetimi aye ede aboa ye nyina no obetimi aye. Mind you, aban enye adwuma. Aban de wotimi ede here na wode bo man ne ho bra no eye eto amene omienu yetua. But the question again is that edientia aban no fairly to be able to realize the sika what anim so betimi agege. In any case, say aban expectation for revenue generation for the year 2023. Se ni nyina no kra no timi bamu a as compared to expenditure, the aban pese wodi sika aban pese was spending the project ni ade no. And so it definitely eden ya SSC ebobosia e de support. But make sure no paper the report of finance committees, you know, etna say a womo a year report no aye waha loans ahodo aye kwakwaje no say eye justifiable say ye beji sika etete sa ade aye niema yaka e wo report we mu say loans na aye kwaje no ye di beye ABCD justifiable la anope ye betrem ama woteme atiase enti ye dase say what journey live on radio. This is 92.9 your friend Kessben FM. Thank you very much for choosing us. You are on the right dial. Enti obetime ama o messages ni nyina no etime aba 0550596929 0550567929 text line anope ye de adwuma fa o messages ni nyina no ebra na yenkenkan emfa emma na ye de report no any loans ahodo ni nyina no eto nchen a anope so ye de ha ne say no e de bebro report ne de ni nyina no wa ha edoso about 7 separate loans, separate report. We will deal with it. Na ye ko ye nim ni nyina so ye beto aso e de hon koma. But ye de ha ne say ne de bebro. Na some of the schools in the eastern region anope wo sembe fem, because some of the schools are emrofrat na mu esua de no. I mean, it's an eyesore. But question that they be ye bisa say enkosi da ben. Yes, ye nim say challenges no e wo ho. Ye nim say ye nru ba bia ye pese ye du so man. We are still a developing nation. Ye kra na ye pepre ye ho akoka say ye dro middle income status. Enti ye nye lower income country be ye middle income status as a state. Who do middle income status grant bi ananka amaya hodo a wo de omo develop ye nyo musika wi ko mo de be che o de say sa na ye bani nyina no countries ni bebre na yi afi ho enti ye be ma bibi kura na eye bosia boya ana wo beko akwakobo e de abebebo o man ne ho ebra enti adopa we deal with that ye beko yilo krobo constituency ni mo na yakoye adwuma wo mo e wo o ha ne say no eso na afiyatimi ni wadi nkomo na me consensus na mi raise anope ehye mabufuo anope na still na no egusu hye mabufuo ndra Jinapo the lands and natural resource minister oni Jonalote the chief executive at the forestry commission and somehow one more catch about the fight against galamsey any kwan your forest no are you depleted forest no see say no you be say the home komo wo ha de say because e bro ma adwene menti ase so say wo mo ankasa na ye mpanyimfo a ye de tumi ama wo mo say wo mo hwe no mo forest ne ho ban enti forestry commission no task force wo mo make sure say forest reserves no nkrofo enwura mu enkotwetwa atwanua basa bia edu ba bi kra ye say ye de tabono any ban e de ato your friend say gaming hunting, whichever thing you want to call it. Oh yeah, before I want to mean forest in Munkokunambia. Yeah, the ban to so said ye be protecting the wildlife in the forest zones. Anna, Omoas and Crofoya Satina ho issue permits at the man Crofonia the audacity and the moral right to enter our forest. And one more deforest in the trend we any bebre egu hectares of forest lands. What about training in egu? They are back again. Sankrofona back coming to complain to us. Back complaining. na eno no medwen ho a mentiase wo John Alote chief executive the Forestry Commission mon friend na mon kan chen sa no pay ka na asem wo Kessben so because Chrome ha yensuro bia na na do dan ko akufo ado bae okay oyi Sir John as chief executive wo na now yes Sir John deputy now people with you John Alote was the deputy chief executive Sir John who ye ne enkofa wo free ba bi fa wo medi CEO there be wote ho na ne Sir John nyina na ye adwuma bom and ye de wo ba be replace Sir John. You knew what was going on with our forest. But you bebe no so me pese do no be se mabufu anope. Ye fa no nto nche ye du ha ne se ne so a ebo 8 ko na ye bebe no so. Because mu din samfo ni wi anu masa be kan samfo a kire ye because mu fi se ye ho ye nim cost. What you say? You're spending over 50 million Ghana cedis. And you see the fighting galamsey and you jina microphone echi and you dwa ye num. So you so cameras need the CS so and ministers need dwa wo num kire. Over 50 million Ghana cedis. And no pay yellow club school na ye ba be yi a kire no. It missing more than 6 unit classroom blocks na yes 50 million Ghana cedis can do better projects in the educational sector. And so you are spending in say you the fighting galamsey and you dada ye ho. You the $3 million at the Accra drones. At the above my musi at the baby mo de bebe so. You fair non to answer. Accra drones na wi. You to me fight mu wi anu ma beka fo de a che.
Kessben.
Na Endra me ba report this na report ma mentu we free hotel. Endra be sia no pay me hu se nkrofo di atempa but would attempt na ye kese because we will look you in the eyes, we will look at you in the face, we will be bold enough, confident enough to tell you the truth. Whether it will be in your interest or not, we will tell you as it is. Yen fa bibia nsie. Unya media na person ka betimi aka. No two ways about it. Endra NDC for premise na wo mokono yetena higher analysis on muntaka. Let me put it on record. Muntaka nye yadamfo. Me sorry mfa phone from muntaka. The last time I see muntaka was last year. Okay, yekoye an interview on the office about loan agreement in parliament the na ekoko so ho and ye bebo ye e wo show ya so. That was the last time I met muntaka. Okay? From that time, basically, the museum muntaka bi. Minim baby crowd nam. But Endra, you prove it through the reason why in Asawasi muntaka must not go. Nana enkrofo di atem papa. Nana pay na me call Kessben ye page ni so Facebook. Mo amodi atem ni nyina na ye damwase. But politics mo ntiase. Mo ye naive. Ose da bia me call hokko kenkan. And no mean yet by in an African Paul. Maybe I want to set certain records straight. Now, one month, yes, huh? Let me tell you something. Now, maybe to us, Mammy set a record in ye. Now, Bremo. You see, my point is that Encrophobe brain argument, and they say, yeah, against young people like DMP. No, we are not. Me MP, because me are young. I have the wisdom and the knowledge. Nana from Ponya MP ni BOD because we are more than competent to be members of parliament. But the truth in any say wo kwa kotoa ba dia ma MP. Okay? It is not just a matter of kotoa ba ma MP. Because you think is nipa we wakoye adwuma akonya ni sika bi abada bi. Me say we a new MP. On call for to Ababa. Over parliament now be year Juma, Yabebo Wabaso, we will say it. And there be on countless occasions, made the Nicholas Amankwa Memphis East MP example. The first time we call parliament was in 2020. A Juma man never ye wa ye wa Memphis East. And nothing Amijano more basho you so. When you're competent on this platform, we will not call you. Oko Ayensuano, Nana from Young man now your friend Teddy no. Okay, in Ayensuano, one on the betu I pay. Samuel I pay. Teddy ba ye no adwuma waye ewa Ayensuano for the first time NDC a winning seat no in Ayensuano in Eastern region. Metna handa meka ye say there is a deputy national youth organizer of the NDC, your friend Ruth Sedo. Wakwa kodi deputy newie. Wasi wo kwa contested Teddy. Meka chere say the party must reason and wise up because woman ntimi ma Ruth Sedo and contested Teddy. Ejuma Teddy aye as a young man, secure Ayensuano seat no, ne humbleness, ne demeanor. Any ejuma wo ye o constituency in the parliament no. I feel strongly say Yama Teddy the second opportunity, he will do more and secure the seat for the NDC. And it will be very difficult looking at Ejuma Teddy ye wa Ayensuano in the Eastern region. For Makokreku Mante, any ayepe mu a womu peso muba from the NPP no, ebe diam womu so betimi asa beji seat no. Because Teddy, at any point in time, our constituency ni fie. When you do the work, we will tell you. And we have countless examples of Nkrofo. Womu ye new entrant, womu be ma, womu ameye dwuma bia. And I'll give you clear example here. 2020 elections, Nana Paul. Akwa Kessben say opare answer Suhum former member of parliament. Ana ye pray ya say yempe opare answer wo Suhum biem. Baby ana opare answer ni stature ababedru in Ghana politics, especially in the New Patriotic Party. Any adwuma na wo ye e wo party nim wo parliament. Ana wo mo pray ya no me opare answer free. They say ye bo constituencies are vibrant. One more MPC vibrant. You cannot counsel whom. MP ni a backbencher. Okay? Enti wo to abama obia. You should ensure say nipa na wo to abama no where you're competent. And I use again, my last example. Woko Medina constituency. Now have Paul. Sadiq Boniface Abubakar. Wano neba betu alaji Sorogo from Medina constituency. Okay? In 2016, baby ana Sorogo edi Medina constituency yedru. No ade bon ho safo hene. Sorogo for Medina, Medina for Sorogo. Untimi separate you omutu no. Ana Boniface Abubakar Sadiq ebetu no. A very affable, competent man. President Kufuor time wo ye adwuma ebetu Sorogo. At least Boniface buy and will maintain the standard na Sorogo edi Medina constituency dedru. Ana a certain young man sorry and was there be obeba no aba betu Boniface. Na have po wutie. Sa young man no ye friend Xavier Sosu. Okay? Ana Xavier Sosu buy on the ticket of the NDC in 2020. Ana Medina constituency ne to abade man no. Xavier Sosu has proven to be more than competent as a member of parliament. The advocacy awoye Edima Medina, and you clearly see say, baby a Medina constituency ni wono ne standard na ntema afom. Anopeya mene wo kasei. Nana report. Nobody in Medina constituency and the boldness cross or be contesting Xavier Sosu because the man is working. Okay? Eti say, MP no ye new MP, where a young man no ban wa ye adwuma, you say it. I'm telling you on authority. Modia mumma munta kanko ewasawasi, you lose the seat. And take it from us on record. Me who say Crawford Churchill and munta kan over first time no experience better than no work. Munta kan so ba no na asawasi constituency no net saying out of the 47 constituencies no, okay? NPP members of parliament na wa Ashanti region no se obia timi aye ne constituency te se de muntaka aye asawase na aka Ashanti region ko nanim ene ba bia be for wa asawase sawaba eni ne enclaves ni nyina na na report yagu ho asphalt. You get a point? And my point is that you can hate muntaka, we don't care. But baby, I want the asawase constituency na babedru no. Enye fe de eba be experiment. Eno na monti ase na yaka. The delegate must vote and vote wisely in Asawase. Modia, Samunim Kwaya, Asawase Muntaka Faso, Emmamu Winnie presidential and parliamentary. A true election. Muntaka making sure say all the enclaves were secure. Unfli constituency ma untimba tuaba. I just see a bad passing Crawford the Abera constituency him abetuaba. He ensures so be secure all the constituency entrance. You think that elections no my bear candidate. And you make me a winning seat. Candidate the obet me a election day no. And near my question you have no idea. Modia Muntuntiano. You will lose the seat in Asawase, and I'll say it and say it again. You can insult us. For how long you want to insult us, but we do not care. Fatadi picture detoso. This young man, I just want to MP, we want to have the best MP for the 8th parliament, who say. What you see, what in the constituency in nature? What we are joining live on Facebook. What you see, Teddy Saforo, very young man, in his 30s. A Juma warrior as a member of parliament, nobody should contest this young man. Obana betina backbench na be muma. Nobody will celebrate you on this platform. And then they are cut to her. It is a fact. Obana be born home dear. Yabeka. Oba na wo MP no obeye mum betina parliament or backbench. What no one contribute our committee level. Okay? What no about party advocacy. Even on the media. That will be a enka. Okay? Me say, Wubanda uye juma papa. Te said ye Teddy Saforo. Eti ayensu anu awoye na. We will celebrate you on this same network. Eti mo amonti asese makoka se Asawase montuma muntaka no. Amonti asye no maka. Muntaka bon homoden. Teddy abon homoden. Xavier Soso abon homoden. Sam George abon homoden. Okuja to Black Kwame, they are holding the NDC front now. And you must protect your interest. Ye kana mo de monti asya mo de monko. 2024 beba ebe hia baba betomo. Okay?
Kessben
92.9. Bebiachi.
Enti uye adwuma na, we will celebrate you. Me say the indications I'm getting is that Yesi Rusedo no was stepping down. The earlier she stepped down for Teddy to go unopposed, the better for the NDC. The earlier Rusedo, the deputy national youth organizer of the NDC, the earlier she stepped down for Teddy Saforo to go unopposed in Ayensuano, the better for the NDC. Because you want to increase your numbers. And your number game, and the Yeka Wasem. We do not care. I've a report to this. Now I'm into a quick one on that. Now, Yamra loans are Parliament, Ajia Tumuno. Tia.
Oh, Kwame Appiah loans, no problem.
Now, me name's a Muntaka confirm Penasem, sir.
Muntaka.
People are very, very ungrateful.
What is in the Penasem? Obia
Kessben 92.9.
As what's the other way campaign, Muntaka. But we are telling them what is on the ground. Meno, I don't against Mubarak or contesting Muntaka. Let me tell you, Kwame. You make this idea we see clear. Obia do one or against Mubarak say uncontested Muntaka. Me, I don't agree. I don't disagree with them because it's a democracy. Exactly. And you practice it. And an NDC constitution and Mubarak a quite say uncontested Muntaka Mubarak. And Yamina me better ha no Maakye almost say a new class Mubarak a contested Muntaka. But and woman ye di Muntaka fashion as ma me kamutie ye. And woman ye di Muntaka fashion ye person ye di pushing away no. And then I say there is a danger and they have to be very careful. Because ultimately accuse you obia what hold do party no or weapon on one call for to vote for.
In times there were no hope.
Yes. When there is no hope, you understand? Such a person, that's who accuse you to say he's in bed with NPP. And you're pushing away. Such a person now can say well 2 coins and the NPP for to call question US. And NPP Juma enutino the majority chief whip no minority chief whip yenyi free nisem ye make sure say ye push Muntaka kwa da kwale medical catch me say o share aswase dynamics
yeah
adequatia a free difference 6,000 called 30,000
yeah
and they say there was a boy called Manaf who is a very popular aswase chebia wa follow aswase and now be a unimo Manaf and the sorry say obe contested Alidu who was the then
the MC right?
Yes MC you get me
yeah
then party no say
Kessben
yeah address ya offer constituencies no you can offer constituencies a baby a party no any you ho you fair say seat
e wo
ho good ye pese obia ni DC no ho no and a contest as a general election as a parliamentary candidate Kwame mana fa anya de was mempene because your constitution in kasa you understand
yeah
Petre sa ye confirm Mr. Osafoma Fukoy okotu manafufu oso ompene ene ekoyi manafu di edi free vice president office no a vice presidential staffer boy ni ye peeved because of that you understand
yeah
and o channel the same thing and happen e wo NDC e happen wo NDC no Mubarak ene Muntaka yama Muntaka ko onopus which some of us we stood against it we spoke against it. But you see, after everything, no, Mubarak campaigned with Muntaka, but Manaf failed to campaign with your friend say Alidu. So from 6,000, and some Muntaka be a gab on 30,000. Or my here, it will turn upside down
against the NDC.
Against the NDC, the same thing will happen because this time around, no,
some will create enmity.
Enmity. I'm sure here.
Kessben
Say, and comfort na dabraka ho. False accusation. Normal agenda to push Muntaka away. I'm telling you that the Muntaka who holds the keys as to how NDC team win election since 2005. Obeye or call your friend say
by election.
A winning up to now.
Kessben. Kessben.
Nana, yeah, report in so yeah, the Academy actually when this for no more election next weekend. Mubedi attempt credit and fire near case. By Yembra report in so and a lot happened in Parliament. Now Parliament no equality today and no loans agreement be brave and one more aqua tum. The kind report of the Finance Committee on the on-lending agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Finance Ministry, and the Development Bank, Ghana. The Development Bank, Nabadi. For an amount of 170 million euros to support the establishment of a financially stable development bank under the finance contract agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Finance Ministry, and the European Investment Bank for an amount of 170 million euros for the establishment of the Development Bank of Ghana. And the Edikai yaje 170 million euros at the Ababe established Development Bank of Ghana. I don't know a first loan. Na interesting times ahead. Abai say nani swadi horone say yabe establish the Development Bank. And no and ebeboa with industrialization drive. The agenda to ensure say ye be industries ma emebunu enye adwuma aye na enyuma e wo ho no ye benya banka ye bia wo mo be ma musika ma mo de bia mu nyuma ni matretremu na abeye kese is it atena o mai mu agu banks o ye gu banks atena o mai mu a consolidate banks okay yatena omaimu ye bie agricultural development bank and that bank no purpose of establishment no and they say womu be safeguard the agric sector womu gigi deposit na no womu de bi ebo Ghana kuafo bosia said ye be ya ye agricultural sector no be so attractive and ye ti hey akuafo kra ko ADB loans kra womu nya ADB no a diversify ni operations. Enti obi ono no ye purposely for agric sector no. Or ye different thing. We want to be investing in real estate. We want to be investing in BBA. The poor Ghana farmer no enya the benefit. As we nya every ADB so. Your National Development Bank, National Investment Bank, NIB. And that's our bank that's what there.
Kessben.
Okay, the National Investment Bank. The same purpose, almost similar purpose. And you person you de-establish the Development Bank of Ghana. But here me say you say NIB no one more achieve your more purpose na. One more achieve. They do sometime they were almost insolvent. Habana just say more musika. And more mutime recapitalize one more. And they say ye kwakwaji 170 million euros. And the ababe establish it. But the question is that banks na ye gu no. And the entire ya mobosia amfan sustain those banks. See it me bobosia. And the established bank. One more near say woman ye insolvent. One more near liquidity. One more nisika. And Crawford deposits no in terms of corporate governance. One more mismanages economy idea no. Why didn't we sustain them? The Ghanaian indigenous banks. We didn't sustain them. Yamborosi ye di so one more sene. Na ya punish the wrongdoers. One more says a bank nechi one more the bank near the omode. But we waited and collapsed them, and we are going to borrow again to come and establish a new bank. Near we are loan maturity period in Eswa. Yasanswa kutia. Sa bank ne kura eba no obetimi aye adwuma atua loan weka. And also cry another question. And in this critical moment, economy na say no, yekobobosi a when ye de be ya na. Can this loan, adwuma ye di loan we ba be no, repay itself ana? That is the big question. Loan way ebetimi atua ne hoka. Ye establish bank ni wi a, bank ni betimi aye adwuma atua loan we ya na. So this is the first agreement. But members of parliament in Nigeria to marry. Now you come to the other one. Report of the Finance Committee on the financing agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana and the International Development Association, IDA, of the World Bank Group for an amount of 150 million United States dollars to finance primary health care. Anyway, loan way, eko kwakwaji mamenu ministry ho. Na mamin kai kakra, the purpose of the loan for primary health care. Interesting. Okay. The financing agreement between the government of Ghana, of the Republic of Ghana, and the International Development Association of the World Bank Group for an amount of $150 million to finance primary healthcare investment project was presented to the House on Friday, 11th November 2022 by the Deputy Finance Minister, Mrs. Sabino Seyasan, in accordance with Article 181 and Yahana Mepe. Maminko justification for the project. I don't know paragraph 4. The emergency of COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the gaps in the national response to public health and emergencies, especially the preparedness of the primary health care system to respond to emergencies. Strengthening primary health care services is a central point to improving health care delivery and extending health services to the citizenry. An improved primary health care system will ultimately mitigate the impact of COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic and prepare the health system to effectively respond to future public health emergencies. In recognition of the contribution of the primary health care system to promoting quality health care, the government, with support from IDA, is embarking on a project to strengthen primary health care delivery in Ghana The program development objective is to align to the objectives of the National Health Policy and the Health Sector Medium-Term Development Plan for 2022 to 2025 that will operationalize Ghana's universal health coverage roadmap. Ghana's community-based healthcare planning and services strategy has increased service coverage, particularly for the poor. However, to achieve universal health coverage by the year 2030, additional efforts are needed to improve utilization and quality of primary healthcare services. Additionally, the program is aligned to the universal healthcare coverage roadmap and the National Action Plan for Health Security, resonate with the various global initiatives such as the Sustainable Development Goal 3, Good Health and Well-being Principles of the African Union Agenda 2063. Terms and conditions of the facility. Interesting. Now, one more diaba. And the project description, no. Richard Jabotre, why? Now, COVID-19, now, one more reason, akwaje $150 million. Say, you have expanded primary healthcare and COVID-19, and Ghana have you more. Ghana ha. Is there one ATM for COVID-19? Ghana has here, what has it here? The committee, after a careful examination of the referrals of the view that the implementation of the program would improve primary healthcare delivery and strengthen the country's healthcare system and make it a robust one to withstand emergencies. The minority members of the committee, however, expressed their concerns about the impact of the facility on the country's debt position. They argue, among others, that the approval of the facility would worsen the country's debt position and make it unsustainable. They also expressed concern about the proportion of the facility that is dedicated to the consultancy service, arguing that needed to improve primary healthcare delivery, especially in the rural areas. In the light of the above, the minority group on the committee is unable to support the facility. And this is the conclusive part. Minority on the committee naturally say, yes, see improve primary healthcare. So cheap compounds, it is good. But the point is that 150 million, no, sika yedi for consultancy guano krano ebro adwene ntiase. So for which reason no one more nyintum says our loan we yam pass it. So they clearly explain and express their views as a minority side on this committee report. Now over the other one now, report of the Finance Committee on financing agreement between Ghana and the International Development Association, World Bank Group, an amount of 150 million United States dollars to finance the West African Food System Reliance Program. And when so ever a great sector, no, you say you perceive a sustaining union, and acquire a befaso a bedrian yani bebre, no. The assumptions are that $150 million, no. You kwaje the bar, a kuafonsa bet me aka, you bet me and the ministry benyabi, and the atosilins near there. Yes, I say yetimi de boa kuafobia. But the question is that Timuponi in your bonnet, but says Sikano, a Bekako Riasiano. I don't know a major issue. And I don't know $150 million. I no. Anna Bakonso on the digitization in expanding the digital frontiers in the rural areas. Now, the communications minister, Maakye Kubi, said, "Ukon kranasi bebrea coverage and the ho, and see ama technology no, and the digitization world no. The ambition of the country say yebema coverage jako bebia no, and who here say and yebe approve sa loan. And no there, many ya again 100%. Maybe we are see no, and ya fe no bi kwa kofu duaso, akojine duaso akoyeko. Network accessibility. Internet accessibility no must be everywhere so that akolano or no eti gravel yard no wosua de no will have the same opportunities and amenities to say the encry nkwalano eye no sa pepepe eti we ni de even though minority they disagree on the content say but who consider time no ni ahochire wo mu ya anke betimi de we na to nchen kakransa na ye ho to ye yie ne ye ho henha ye ne nanka yetimi akɔgye saa loan but all the same one more passing loan no every and that is it and these are component of a year and loans are parliament I agree now the simple and short thing is we no eba beka ekada da ewo ni nyina ho maturity days ne beba and I'm not sure say saka we nyina no na do aban na betua there be whichever future government say ye Dr. Bawumia number 2 and ye Alan Kojo Chematen and John Mahama womumu bi obebe bia no will have to come and deal with this debt as part of a year arrangement one more ISSA enti yenhwe videos no na yemra na endra in passing this loan agreement the former minority leader the Honorable Haruna Idrisu ewo concerns said loans it is hard time parliament ebe kape na yenya ceiling join you live on Facebook na yentie na yenhwe enono emra yenkomra.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I've looked at the business statement for the emergency sitting of Parliament on Tuesday, 2nd May 2023. And Mr. Speaker, paragraph II-B, you see a report of the Finance Committee on the modification to the use of proceeds for 2 selected roads projects under the loan facility agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, for an amount of up to $750 million. And Mr. Speaker, when you come down, you find 75 million allocated for the construction of Ejusu Kwenongo Road project. Then you have 98 million for the construction of the Echikrom Adosu Road project, reallocated for the construction of bypass on the Accra Kumasi Road, number 6. Mr. Speaker, these are not matters we should be taking under certificate of urgency. We would need to thoroughly understand what went into this 750 million as it was approved. How many kilometers of road? What was the nature of the roads to be constructed? What are you modifying? So when you bring it here, and I know that you are only talking about the financing component, yet the commercial contract is not here. We are called on a 2nd May that let this walk through. Walk through what? The nature and character of the roads in Echikrom Adosu is not the same as that of Swami. Neither can it be the same. So my first difficulty is, why do you want to take this under agency? We need detail, particularly, Mr. Speaker, what the country is going through with loans, with excessive borrowing, which comes at cost to taxpayers. You just can't say that, modify and reallocate money. We must have an understanding of what went into the 750, the kinds of roads that were considered for the 750, the character of the roads to be constructed. It can be bitumen, it can be asphalt, it can be double lane. So when you just bring this and say today, 2nd May, we should get this approved, I have a difficulty with it. But the principle of reallocating money for Swami, any day, any time, Mr. Speaker, you can count on my support. Then the other one, once we are at it, once Parliament is sitting now, probably, Mr. Speaker, this can wait till we come back. District Assembly elections by Article 246 of the Constitution was last held, in 2019. The tenure is lapsing within the decentralized provisions of the Constitution. We have accepted the Constitution. We've accepted decentralization as a concept. We need a public declaration by the Electoral Commission of Ghana on when these elections will be conducted, and a roadmap to its conduct must be announced by them. I thought that this matter too must get our attention. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And that is the former minority leader, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, speaking on the floor. Now, the majority leader responded. The Honorable Chamber in Sabonso has this to say.
Just to say that we invited this house, that is, the Speaker invited this house to come and consider three. The Speaker invited this house Mr. Speaker, what we have come to do is government business. So the Speaker must be prompted by the leader of government business. And that is no offense. For those of them who want to be educated, it's no offense. That is how it's done. Having said so, Mr. Speaker, we came to deal with 3 or 4 items. The first one was the consideration of the formula for the debt fund, which I've just spoken to, that because of a few developments we cannot handle, but we'll come to handle that upon reconvening. The second one relates to the financial bills, which were to have been considered at the time we were considering the budget. It's been long-standing. Fortunately, we found space to deal with that. Speaker, the other loans, most of them are concessional facilities. The Speaker, my colleague is emphasizing the point that some of them come with capacity building and so on and so forth, and that the country does not need that. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to open up the debate again because he has also his point and I countered it with well-considered opinion. I don't want to go back. But suffice it to say that he's introducing something that was not even on the table. That is the fight against Galamsey. The Speaker, we are all concerned. And I thought the member was going to end by saying that he was going to move a motion for this House to maybe establish that bipartisan committee. Would have been proper. His concern. Why are you not interested in asking them whether the content as being exposed now is reflective of the position of the entire committee? It's surprising. It's surprising. That is not to denigrate the fact that Galamsey activities should concern us. The Speaker, having said that, I believe there will be more time upon reconvening to deal with the fallout from that. In the meantime, let me express gratitude to the 2 deputy speakers for availing themselves to chair this meeting and calling.
Chairman Sabonso, the majority leader in Ghana's parliament, and on the floor of parliament, speaking to us about concerns, minority side, about some of the loans. Now, and the minority leader himself equally had this to say after sitting no course in Yidano, one and some show for ACI. Now, one Wamusia and say, I know the two.
Was for us to consider and approve a number of loan agreements for the government of Ghana. We in the NDC today objected to these loans. I'm sure the arguments that were made on the floor are sufficient for you to capture your needs. However, it is important for me to say that at the time that the country is in debt distress, it is very wrong for the government to still consider and to have the courage to add on to our public debt. Only today, Parliament considered and approved 750 million US dollars. 750 million dollars. The NDC minority opposed vehemently. The MPP thought this is the right time for them to ambush the NDC and to bring this law for approval. Because this is coming at a time that the NDC members of parliament are going through internal elections, our primaries. And obviously, most of us are contested heavily. And as a result, we don't expect everyone to be here. They thought this is the best time to bring this. And obviously, they brought this to succeed. We oppose it, but we are calling on the people of Ghana to hold this government. The opposition all this time is doing what we can, the numbers that were given to us by the electorate. But oftentimes, impressions are created as if only the opposition that should hold the government. We call on the civil society organizations and the well-meaning Ghanaians to join us in opposing this government. But this is a government that will never learn. They will never learn. They are comfortable with the numbers that they have in Parliament. They are more than us by 1 or 2, and oftentimes they use these numbers even.
The Finance Minister, John Kuma, and so Ekasaya, after all the agreements, say one more ebeja to my house, you know. My Deputy Finance Minister, na Yambra.
Sika ya jidada ewe nkrate mu na wo se parliament budget nyame adom na parliament so agini nyina atum ama ye hye ne adwumadie ne nyina so aye kama IMF hye no so nyame adom Minister of Finance and in team governor ne omon keka ho omko America nyame adom hye ya omkoye nyina so bia da na akwemu pepepe ene IMF for no ekoye akodru se e wo se amanone enkura hodo aye ne ombo kitahudi no aso mogitum se omobe pene amagana ene IMF se ye no e kai wo se omode che ene nti ase bi wo so munya na so omode ho waye ma IMF na eno na ye twan nyame adom se ni nyina so akoyie ama enche bia mintimi nka dapotin ba e ni manimu ya ase enche Ghana beti asende na IMF idea so abaso amai.
Okay, and that is the Honorable John Kuma, Deputy Finance Minister, explaining the agreement and Parliament at Tumbono. It is only 27 after 8. A higher Kessben 92.9. Sir UTL Radio and Pacho Ubetime Adjoinia live on Facebook. Kessben FM 92.9 official handle. Na what the messages no afaho ede abba. Say we share live on TV. This is Kessben TV channel 364. Is live on DSTV and channel 121 live on Go TV. Obetime the messages no as well. Abba on 0550596929 0550567929. What about you making kind no what is your take on the current agreement Ghana yes secure when it comes to a year loan agreement yakwa koje ni nyina no eyesika ye hwe ni mo se ebetimi aba and these are some of the things na marimra na afren portion na mintie ni kakra na afi yemfa wo ha ni say no and to aso na na mintie
Kwame ya sa kwaja kugum
ya jegum
na at the same way Kwame me wo ade bi kire madwene e be se me busa question bi na me pa no ye free Ghana fo nyina Kwame tie o IMF.
Yeah.
IMF. Yekono. And Sashi. IMF bar 1944. 30 years time. I joined the IMF. Kwame. 17 times. And I Ghana yako IMF. A baby or baba Ghana bioko IMF.
Yeah.
And we are made to understand say 5 times and yentimianko IMF. Now Kwame. IMF ne econo. I don't have any problem with Ghana eco IMF. But you see, so IMF,
yeah.
Now Mr. Kenneth Thompson, CEO of Dallas Finance, I say the current state IMF need to solve that problem. Kwame. Just $3
billion, no?
Yes.
Yes, I calculate
solve this problem. Then Mr. Kwaku Kwati, former deputy finance minister, Obuasi East, and also Obuasi West MP. Mr. Kwaku Kwati say, IMF need to solve your problem. A member of New Patriotic Party
and chairman of
the finance committee in Parliament was said the IMF cannot solve the problem of this country. Kwame, Africans Institute for Security Studies, ISS, Africa's leading multidisciplinary human scrutiny organization. The assessment and analysis about this country, and they say, baby, yako shese that $3 billion yakoji IMF can never solve the problem of this country. Kwame, so come say about do baby Kwame?
Yes, Nada.
If
Kessben.
MPP timima the say inflation, you are dragging from inflation from 17 point something to a single digit. Interest rates as about from agricultural growth. Kwame, ayeti, it was a clear indication. And your concordant stories, Kwame.
Kessben.
And then the buyer, Kwame, we are to this stage. All these institutions, some of the characters now,
yeah,
they are like institution. These people are telling us, baby, I say, oh man, the IMF ain't me solve this problem. Kwame, people say, buy
COVID-19.
No. This COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war, Kwame.
Yes.
And you and Kwana, Sadia Natoye, affected.
That's not by justification.
Kwame,
this
is serious.
Kessben.
This is serious. So,
Kessben.
how come that Bank of Ghana, Amiatia say a reserve was a sian, a bet me a sustain Ghana, Sasemsia, for 3 weeks instead of 5 months. Your reserve early last year. No bet me a sustain this country, Sasemsia, for 5 good months. Say, I drop to 3 weeks at your pan buy, Kwame Tiasi. At your pan buy, Kwame, Cote d'Ivoire, our IMF. But they are not into this state. And we were doing better than Cote d'Ivoire in 2019, 2020, and 2021. What happened? Kwame, I don't get it. A dear partner buyer, Kwame. It is say Ghana is among the lowest reserves according to Bank of Ghana. In Africa, among 5 countries, nations are Omukuta the lowest reserve. And the 5 countries
in terms of foreign exchange.
Yeah, in terms of foreign exchange.
Kessben.
And the 5 countries that we are talking about, Kwame, they are all war-torn zone, war-torn countries. Political instability, I hate war. Ethiopia, Sudan, Burkina Faso, where again? Ethiopia, Sudan, Burkina Faso, and Zimbabwe, and Chad. Chad, all this war, Kwame, the poorest country in the world, one of the poorest countries in the world, Zimbabwe. Ever since our President Mugabe, Nyamefa the currency, a creative problem, omunya economic sanction, Kwame omutimi recover that. But Sudan, political instability, Sudan. Political instability, Kwame, Ethiopia. Burkina Faso been terrorized by this ISIS and this extremists. So how come, said this country, Global Peace Index, rated this country, Ghana, as the most peaceful country in Africa, you are overtaking Mauritius. I know we a peaceful country in 2021. Now you are a peaceful country in 2022. Then yay among these war zone countries as the lowest reserves. What happened? Sikari Fahe Kwame.
Kessben.
I don't get it. And this is serious. How come that 1/3 of Bosebia Bobobiano yade co-finance interest? 1/3. Sabu say your boy yaka wasemi. E yade na se fridge budada. And yakwa approve. But then on what a you be a Bobobiano Kwame yade co-finance interest. Have you read a Economic Intelligence Unit report?
Yeah.
I must say, no matter government will be taken over from NPP government, we see, Kwame, still economy need to be necessary. Per their report, and if you are going by their report, a dear panaba, it's a baby bar, what to be necessary this economy? What clicked what? What brought what?
Kessben.
Any year another Kwame you see inflation, Kwame, you drag to single digit. Any year foreign exchange, not dollar no, a chassis your friend say, a Sydney chassis dollar. Any year na Kwame, na your foreign reserves, Yes, a coso. Kwame Nya na near to ma interest rate na aba from. A dear pa na buy. Kwame, you need explanation as a country. I don't get it. Come here. LPP and communicators. LPP communicators. Kwame. As I see a talk card the mobia. As I say, Kwame, almost so because I find out how they defend these issues. Richard Ahiaba. Dennis Miracle Abuaji. Krobia Sante. Abua Papun Usubempa. And some of the members of parliament Omutimi appear on the high profile say current affairs program to defend and some America was it. And this is facts. Omutimi did defend it. Kwame. They did applaud. I see a brain some the mom. Because Kwame, but last night I was there and some say say COVID and this a year was it. Ukraine wori. I see Zambia antisa, Cote d'Ivoire antisa. They are opening now IMF, but not the states. IMF here over 23 countries in Africa. Echo IMF, but not the states, Kwame.
You say Kenya citing Ghana for the wrong reason.
Yeah. A dear partner, Kwame. I says like Ghana is becoming hopeless. Only need that so baby I say bibi betimi asi turn things around. Yeda ni sorry na de achi ni abeka sam fofo ni eda ni sorry no be the newspaper chi ni aka no wasam ni akwakwada na sorry ukobie TV obi da so ni aka wasam ni ada ni sorry still ABCD. What is happening? We need answers to this. A dear the buy a dear social interventions program near Diaba, a draining the coffers of the country, a dear project ya a draining the coffers of the country. What happened? What happened? We need answers to this. Kwame, we need answers to this.
That's how by
and normal. Kwame, normal.
Covered by
Kwame, me see Russia, Ukraine war no. Kwame,
feeding
Kwame,
and all of that.
Kwame. Mali. Mali. IMF. Mali. Political instability. Mali. Russia Ukraine war. Mali. COVID. Mali. Adena Mali overtake here. This is something that we have to ask this question. Adena Mali overtake here. Burkina Faso. I watched television a day before yesterday night. Burkina, because of the terrorism and the jihadists are about terrorizing Omutino. They have started training women self-defense. They have brought people from Japan and China, training them how to defend yourself. Unlike this country, Global Peace Index for say we are the most peaceful country in Africa. 54 countries, we are the most peaceful. How come that Sankofu will not be here? He for the Sikana for Kwame. At the end of the year, the betting yakas okay, Sano more they are training your coffers. All is not well. We need to ask questions to Kwame. It's okay. Maybe because me who be me fan Fabium. Machino Bibi says, he for the Kwame, he for your words here. He for your words here. He for your words here. Sa by spending the air canna on tia. Yes, see, communication uko flash staff house. Communications a specialist. 2. Directors of communication. 4. Deputy directors of communication. 5. At the presidency. Technical communication assistant. 5. Media 8. 1. Media liaison officers assistant. 1. Communication consultant. 1. Presidential advisor on media. 1. Church relations managers, managers, diaspora church relations officers, technical advisor to the presidential advisor on media, somebody in charge of La Francophonie, youth ambassador for diaspora affairs, directors for diaspora affairs.
Kessben.
Kessben 92.9. Maakye. Kessben 92.9. Maakye. Kessben
92.9. Checking your time, 42 after 8. Higher Kessben 92.9. I don't pay my yenda was it. Ubete me I join here live on Facebook. And somebody will what? And I'm a boy ziga. Somebody will what said it here. We are very fine. Why? But I don't pay. Yeah, we are in the Eastern region. Sad. Oko a year upper Menya Krobo district in Moa. A Krobo or higher friend wa mo Bomase. Na Bomase no, I was here Udruwa. A farming community. The Padoduana Tihona no Eyakia for. Na Esa Yamune Kia for ho. Na Wamubi be in here or mining Tino. I mean, they live in a very sad state. Enti ma yenko na yenhwe wamo videos no emra ekwanya wamo efa so a wamo enya nsuo kra anom no problem because they say no ya say bibia ya say no enti oko eye Bomase this is how they get water to drink bacha utie ne Ubetimi I join here live on Facebook. Kessben 92.9. Na insuo no se eyensu tineo. Se eyensu a sebe insuo to anatata fomo. Se eyedin yo. In fact, in grana se ho no insuo eyensu tini nyina galam se ase ni nyina. And they say no, this is the best options they have. Na me who said we no me rehoye. As you are watching on your TV screens, you know, what in cry now? If say abrabono easy. What in Kumase, what in Takrade? If say abrabono easy because what dream we nyina say Ghana no eno ane cry, eno ane Kumase, eno ane Takrade. Enti edura no pa wo say enkofo de da bia wo mo ba no wo mo tiem ye so wicked as a people to the extent say enyo obi anfom so so be ye Ghana ni but the kwan ye fa so a ye treat ye ho no wote ho a no wakoma ate okay say wote ho a no wakoma na ye wo ya because o hye Bomase insu a wo mo no Maybe any person you no you ask yourself, say, he find the air as a country. And do we really care about these people? Mamen kwa homani so na assemblyman na wire ne ho se wobeye bia ma na electoral area any Bomase for Abraham Tay e wa homani so so sad but babene no enkonkodi nkomo. Ebi ultimate good morning. Aha Kessben to say
good morning, yeah. I'd like to take this opportunity to greet all your listeners.
Very well. Listeners in the Anajo, so you're the Chino Ebefra. Why? Now, I don't pay Bomase to say.
Bomase, Now, a problem is you a major problem. Assembly member for Bomasi, Sikiswa electoral area.
Okay.
And to say a main problem is you.
I didn't tell you about a problem. Bomasi Muninsu are a tene.
For Bomasi, we have problem with water. The few boreholes we have are all spoiled. But for Sikiswa, we have this safe water network project. But whenever it rains, the whole water becomes flood. You can't even use it. We complained to them several times. They didn't do anything about it. And so that's our major problem. For Bomasi, some of the communities don't have it at all. When you go to Bomasi Dorsi, then Bomasi Tenya, all have broken down. We have 2 boreholes there which have broken down. We did all our possible best. But we realized that the water level is now very low. And so that is one of our major challenges. Then for Sikeswa, safe water is also not able to satisfy us. Because it's a big community, and whenever it rains, the whole water becomes flat. When you get to the dry season too, you realize that the water table comes down, so you don't get water.
Kessben.
Yeah.
And then, as assembly member, no, what have you done about this? Or the assembly? What more committees, no, amanie?
Yes.
When this year, Kasa, what are they saying about this peculiar problem, more?
For the broken down ones, so now this you guys say, prepare list of boreholes damage one sport. To prepare the list of the sports one to him, but for over a year now there has not been any response. So I have been doing all my possible best, but still I'm on planning and development subcommittee, and so we do discuss all those things at length. So in my own small way, I was able to get some NGOs to come to our aid. Golden World Ministry International came to drill one at Bomasi Hunya, but then the water table is very low, so we are not getting water as expected. Then one NGO, the Waymakers from America, they also came to drill one at Bomasi Tenya school for me, but that one too still. So we need to do this hydrofracture, which according to them is very costly. So doing the hydrofracture for Bomasi Hunya and Bomasi Tenya, because of the cost involved, they have abandoned it. So they have now become a white elephant, do all those 2 projects. And the assembly is not able to come to our aid.
Yes, but with the already existing boreholes, you know, yes, what my yes, the water table no any effective, sir. For which reason, no, it is difficult to get the water from the beneath the earth. Now, the question is that it's not working at all for the boreholes now.
So far, it is not coming. Water is not flowing.
But didn't they do any cross checks before and sign our more drilling, even with the specific locations, you know?
Yeah, but the problem is those searchers who come with their machines to search, they also after money. So what we realize is that they only come to search even if the level of water is not high, because they want to get their money. They tell the people, oh, there is enough water there, and they take their money and go. They come to drill. It's a different people who comes to drill. They come for the drilling, and you realize the water level is so low that they will drill, and the level of the water will not be sufficient for the people. And so for now, the Bomasi Hunya one is there. That needs hydrofracture to be done. They are also complaining they didn't know it will cost them so much to do another hydrofracture. So they left the project. I've been calling them since then, but they are not coming back. The Waymakers one at Bomasi Tenya too, the same problem. They came to drill, and we realized there is some little bit of iron in it. And so they need to treat the iron and also do hydrofracture, which the white lady is also complaining now. And the assembly is also not able to come to our aid. When you go to Bomasi, Dorsi, and Siblino, they also have same challenge with water. So when it gets to the dry season, very difficult. Then Sekeswa, the main community too, the safe water one is there, but it is not able to serve the community. We need one, a heavy one to supplement it or to take out the whole community, because whenever it rains, the whole water becomes flooded, then you can't use it. I wish you see the kind of water we are fetching since last 2 weeks that it started raining.
I see. Now, the concerns again, no, yes, how are your people getting safe water to drink and then to also do the domestic house chores?
That is the problem. Sometimes you are compelled to use it like that because the wells, because it has gotten to the dry season, the few wells we have in town are also dried up. And so sometimes you are compelled to use such water. And last I was even discussing with the nurse here, the PE, the physician assistant, and he was telling me some of the diseases they are recording might be as a result of this unsafe water we are dealing with, we are drinking. And so it is very pathetic taking such water. Then those at Bomasi will have to pee 1 jerrycan. You come and buy the water, 1 cedi, that dirty water, and you pay 2 cedis for 1 yellow gallon. See, so it means water is costing you almost 3 cedis for 1 jerrycan.
I see. Even with how dirty it is, still not.
Yeah. They still because they complain their meters are reading, and so they also complain they will have to, because meters are reading, they will have to sell. So although it is dirty, that is unsafe for human use, they still sell it, and so you have to buy it once a day, and either Okada.
And I don't know Ghana Water. Now I say I don't know here.
No, it's a private company called Safe Water Network.
I see.
Safe Water Network.
So they have drilled their borehole and I want more tons you mamo.
Yeah, they drilled the borehole in the community, and where the borehole has been dragged, instead of them to maybe have a stage so that when it rains, the flood doesn't get into it. We complain several times. So whenever we are in the dry season, the little that comes, that one is clean. But when we get to the rainy season, then the whole water becomes flat. So you get to the tap, you open, and it's flood, which is a major concern. We complained to them several times. They are not into our plea.
And the assembly has since not responded to your plea, right?
No, they have not responded.
I see. What sort of help do you require from the Ghanaian public?
We want philanthropists, the government, to come to our aid in terms of water. We know in Upper Manya here, we have the Akusu, the lake. We are blessed. We have the lake in Upper Manya. So we have the Poponya Fountain one, which is treated at Bukuno, and it's serving most of the communities in the eastern region. When you go to Kufudi, Atafu, and it is on our land, and we are not even benefiting from it. And we have Akaten one day, we have Akusu one day, that can even save the whole of the eastern region. And we here closer to it are being served with it. And so it's a major challenge. So we want government and other philanthropists to come to our aid by providing us with potable water, so that all those diseases which people are getting as a result of taking this unsafe water is dealt with.
Kessben.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm sure, sir, Adope, it has come to the attention of the general public, and definitely Obi will support Emma Moa. You'll hear from us. Why?
Oh, okay.
Adope, I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm grateful.
But hello, Ebi, Utemenka.
Yes, sir.
Yes. How many people are we talking about in terms of population in your community?
Sekesua and the environment, we are about 15,000.
Over 15,000 population.
Yes.
And you do not have good drinkable water.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We have schools, clinic, market, and I don't know. So sometimes some teachers are being posted to these areas and they don't accept those things. They come, they see the condition of the area, they go and never return because of the condition in which we are here. So it's a whole lot of challenge.
Who is your member of parliament?
Honorable Bismarck Tetenyako.
What has he done about the situation?
So far, nothing has been done yet. But he's aware of the condition, but nothing has been done yet.
But you people voted for him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the reasons we voted for him
to come and solve.
Yeah.
And he's still not being able to solve.
The water leak is on our land. It passes through our land. It has destroyed a whole lot of properties, and we need to benefit. At least the one at Bukuno that is serving Kufu, Diatafu, and other areas must also serve Upper Manya, because it's on the land of Upper Manya. Then we have their Katen, we have their Kusuwa, and it can be treated to serve the people. And the amount of money people spend on water, and apart from the amount, the health hazard it gives to the people, is just bad. And so we must also benefit from the national cake.
Okay. We'll come back to you at a later time to have a more conversation on this. But in case of Bipeso, you'll definitely hear from us. Why?
We are ever ready with land, anything that the community will have to provide to get those things done. We're ever ready to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Abraham, thank you very much. And the assemblyman no Anna Yanino at the Komono na very sad. Very, very sad. Ghana no. Gazi? Yes.
Wama meraho anope yo.
Oreho.
One assemblyman kasari wama meraho. Na Ghana na yana nimada yempeni mfo no omunim se ye ka Ghana no eno ane enkrani kumase ne takrade ana.
Enkrani kumase krade no mai.
Tinipa about 15,000. Your population no 15,000 we insure mo no. Na we say yade bi ba call about omu nyina Kwame. Cholera ne ba omu nyina. O mai ba ko etimu.
Gazi enta de ne.
Abusia yenko dwemu na yenko di dwa kakra na enema ahodo abadwa so no me pese me ma hu de di achi ne kope bi to wate anopai ma me mfa nko Grace Gift Herba wono makache na Grace Gift Herba ese me nka ncho so yade a bo anan bra o maso ho nyagidie ne bra oba yade bi hawo yade bi a etete wo de beda no pe obeboa wo ama bi atima koso pa say diabetes say pressure na wosoro pressure na kosoro oso de bra o low pressure kra no a Grace Gift Herba say nyagidie na so bra na kache oba nyamedi mu nti o pressure no obehwew ama no so abibia adedadin afei bema untimi enwo ba so awo ho adende ama wo wannante wa chine Grace Gift Herba say no pay menka ncho se bra na kache na obeboa papa ama ne manyina tima koso bema wo post it no ayekese kokrampo ababedemu Grace Gift Herba say no pay wo so bre na omo yie pa we na kira kwan Ofim School Junction eho na Grace Gift Herba wonum ewo ana odu ani ache ba kase kwan so no mo ho mbacha won kran ya new achimota petrol air banglo wonum obehu Grace Gift Herba wonum akache ho no ewo honum omasi o mayar sabia na fefefe kama tuuru mu ase wonya yar sa nie enti mishro wodofo yade bi e kire so a waso de bra obeboa pa me ba chaw anopa itie me sama mo yade so ana no nche se so ko Grace Gift Herba honum a onum entimi ensa yade no da bi yade bi ade beko bia no ombe ho na adigi sama won se Grace Gift Herba honum no omode nananoma bi bidru a wadi jaye no eno nene omaye na dru a womudi ku etia nyarewa hodo ewo nipadua ntimi show yade bi ha wo no fako na omoma bibi ntimi nkoso mbacho for Grace Gift Herbal ewo number iso anasa homatrofo iso 0244126123 0244126124 na wono entwetwe nkomo na anopai me bacho wonom emo pa na ye kan Franco Trading Enterprise say anopai oguso wo kaka wo ope mobile phone ato wa ope se Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, smart TVs and we here Grace Gift Herba say nei wo makofa bi e dia ba wo mo bon e wo fom pa ti so ko na ono mo ento kese na emo na eja omo ma eniema bi nyina nto ti so krom ha pa na wo pe phone eye kama phone wo to a bibia kuko yie kama womawa Franco Trading Enterprise phone nyina no wobakofa ba shano nso ma mesa omode no enya China phones wa enkofo ton no kromu ani bidabi Franco Trading Enterprise omode no ebo correct pa unyomo phone bi se na wisu a kere yie nti bisro ya na wa shano nso na omoboa kwa de ena ya na kume na ebo no fom ɛboɔ no wɔ fam paa nti nya wɔn sɛ nɛ ɔmo a ɛkɔtɔ phones ɛwɔ Franco Trading Enterprise no wɔn a ɔmo ho mfa so pɛ wɔ paa na ɔsɛm nka nkyɛn sɛ ɔmo de tabletop fridges aba no nso so ɛbɔ correct nti wo office wonya BDC office sɛ wo adwuma mu baabi a wo bia no wonya Franco Trading Enterprise wɔn top fridges ɔmo akɔfa aba no osu benya bia fei wɔmakɔfa Franco air conditioner ba na a range from 1.5 horsepower erikosi 2.5 horsepower enti ekoyie pa pebi na aja enya bi ko office ho ana ofie ho na aja enfama yududu mo pa Franco Trading Enterprise kaine sanson se wo Ghana fa na nyina ba bia be fa bia no ubenya Franco Trading Enterprise your office ni bia na se your store ni bi ho na akototo ne ma hodo ababo so bi nyina me ba cho your number ni efreyen 0559 0555 939 311 and that's 0246 22338. My missing number is with 0246 422 338. Offer number ya Franco Trading Enterprise. Was say Obama on Yama Mabobo so na Kayo Franco Trading Enterprise or store phone papa fee and ho. Na my main phone call multi credit for Akatie. Multi-credit savings and loans limited sana pa menka ncho sa wo bosia hodwo a bra wonom ema bi a ja ode beye wadwuma nyina enti odofo wutie mi na no pa a wo pa bosia free bank no multi-credit biano what the bama monam de akwa yom mpacha unti biase na person multi credit savings and loans limited e bon koma your number near frame 0277712888 0277712888 offer number ya e multi force wo no obekasa sika no ho enkomo ne ho nhihye nyina no wo mbekirechirem e de ama wo soso akwa anim na bere kwa na Adom Herbal Center akache na Adom Herbal Center so akofa enuro miensa eye bia eye kama siesie ni pedua no abadwa so de di kan eye Nadom garlic bitters na Nadom garlic bitters na de unya bi eye pa eboawo ema wonom a umoja no edi afusane kama pa anya enonko obi a wuntimi ena obu onum ha dura na dwo ntimi na nkofo da ehwa nkomo no nko wusintinti wuntimi na so ye obi a wuntimi ena anadwo a nom Nadom garlic bitters garlic na we munti kura no be yo ho adwuma ma wankasa bom say yes wanu maduro pantimi so uyo obi a untimi na anadwo a onom Nadom garlic bitters ya ebe siesie o mo adan tentem ebe deda o mo adan na ho ntimi so pebi ensoso no ma fe wo honam ya o ya pa obu onum ade bia wo complain honam ya ne ya obu onum opon kodu afiesie a anyume na okokodu fefe na honam tutu no be so so honam ya na bedwa so a onum Nadom garlic bitters and so beboa afa wi ana de nafa lady clean ene de mpachaw eyaman komo eman nanimu ema de siesie om ho e wa hemfie ho oba mpachaw wutie mi na no pa yi a wa hemfie onum de bia na ateche ho honom wo na de bia na e ba gisi otieti ateche mo ba unya nafa lady cleaner ebeboa ma hemfie ho udi sha ho kama e de siesie hemfie ho a hobe ya wese kama ama bibi bia tima kwaso pa na emasabi oba no so etche kama to oba sabi opeso oba no etche no unya nafa lady cleaner eno enso ebebo apa uwia na waka bomu onum nsuo no na asem nom topa ye no na woko anim eno no eye nafa eye mixture ena nafa eye capsules nti ono nom capsules no aso hu o memene na wasa nom mixture na ka ho na woko anim eno de onom a etu enamu yare bi ase gonorrhea syphilis pa na aba be gina so acha oba wakwa nkwa nom eye nafa mesha uwia na the capsules na aka ho nto nom anom asa nom to pae na aka ho na esa okọ ni mu a afei oba white pa odepu ha wo no unya nafa mesha ene nafa eye capsules a eno enso bebo mpacho ye Tema community 1 casino honom a upebi etu aton a na Nadrom Herbal Center wonom wo number nie e wonom monko 0240 981592 0240 981592 na woni yen entwetwe nkomo na anopai yemmo meba chaw Gentleman Dental Clinic wo musu nie na Gentleman Dental Clinic no wonmo eye bia pa na anopai wose yemfanto anu se sebe okasa na mpampan fu anu ba okọ Gentleman Dental Clinic wo madweso a wose obeboa pa obi akaka wo anu mu kaka osene emu nyina boni tokuro Gentleman Dental Clinic se brai na kaka na ha won wontutu ma obetutu ama otuma so a utim ko hono ya obebu o ma ko so ko kutu a ade abachia no na wuti ahono ya kakraka Gentleman Dental Clinic o mo mfidi papa o makrade afem na ne abati etusi ne kwa husi etusi no ti so ya na wasane so sare mame ya obu ono mo so ane se no aye multicolours ne se no obehu brown wo mu obehu green wo mu obehu yellow chesa colors bia bi wo ne sinemu o a wutie bi na no pempa chaw o se no colors no ados no Gentleman Dental Clinic se bra anopai oba obaboa ma wo se na fita chese obi ahu se kura be nwanwa se kane obi na o se pa multicolours na omo ana beboa wonti show one Gentleman Dental Clinic entwetwen komo what no mbeboa o ma chia kwan ewo enkran haye won mo nungwa C5 main station hono mo a na Gentleman Dental Clinic hono mo mba cho wo sanso wo tena foforo kra ewo atomic air down I womo ewo kwabenya runabout hono so hono mo ho obehu mo ho mpa cho phone number 055 913 952 055 913 9582 and 0249 906588 na ono mo entwetwe komo Gentleman Dental Clinic waso otie so a na wasode na omo se no so se ho problem no so no obesie siew ama bibi bia tima koso Kwame enyoko anasiasene over to you Kwame.
In fact, you are the best. Keep doing the good work for Mother Ghana. Apam Mohammed, anyway, for Sinkregwa in the Western region. He sends that one in. Apam, thank you for a message. You know, what they Abba Anope. Mamin Kaiwe, Eric, anyway, free Amada. Or say, what's the essence of loan Ghana is borrowing for development from developed countries, but we are still underdeveloped. My question is that what is the essence of the light when there is no darkness? O question that will be sad or no. Eric, thank you very much for a message. You know, what they Abba and pay. Good morning to you all. Ajofua, you send that one in. Ajofua Senior High School, that is what you mean. Students and teachers. Tilapia, you send that one from Sashi Echeso. Okay, but I say any message, you know, how they Abba. From Jones, from Manso, Tonto Krum, you sending this one. I say, I'm watching you live, Mr. Speaker, and Nana from Paul Ziga. You guys are right. We need explanations about the many borrowings and how we got here as a country. God bless you. Message where they abandon. This one says that, good morning, Mr. Speaker and Kessben. Please, I really love your talk about salt porn. Okay. I don't pay a salt porn. I say, well, very well. As a good morning, Mr. Speaker, the U.S. Vice gave us some funds. Where is the money? Why are we going back to borrow again? The U.S. Vice President, you are talking about Kamala Harris, Obayeno, Omaye Sikebi Sikano Ewahi. Baroski is sending this one from Assessor. I'll say change your 2020 candidate. EIU tells NDC. And my question is, will NDC do so? There is fire on the mountain. Say hi to Joe Gatti, NPP presidential aspirant hopeful. Odia Abando Baroski, but I say any message. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please, when will you talk about MPs of Shama constituency and Evaluadra constituency in the Western region? From Joseph Tano, Shama. Joseph, Yabeba Shama, why? In the Western region, we'll definitely be there. Now, we'll talk about all these constituencies. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm Akwesi from Aguna Amenfi. I'm happy to know you come from the Amenfi area. Please, Amenfi Central is so improvised. and underdeveloped, and our MP Kwame Appiah has been a mess unto us. Please try and use your platform to help us lobby for development in our area. May that say any message in Akwesi, exactly what I'm doing, bringing the issues I holding in to the attention of the government at the national level. Good morning, Speaker. We remind you that the National Mosque was not built by taxpayers' money. Acts of the checks remains for the self-fact that they don't talk about it again. We do not need the National Cathedral. It must be converted into a national hospital. O message I would abandon. Thank you very much for a message. We say good morning, Mr. Speaker. You guys are accurate with your analysis on the constituencies. The NDC must be careful and watchful as to how we select our parliamentary candidate. Majority of us can lead us to losing those seats. It is not about selfish interest, but the collective interest of the party. Maxwell Akoko, you send that in. May I say any message, And those are some of the messages. Mode Abba. Na ma yenko share a year. Your last video. Na and also a year junior high school back home. Oko a year Yellow Krobo municipality di mana district di mua. It's an eyesore kwanya emofrano esua de yefreno Aza MA Primary School in the Eastern Region. Now it is very horrible. Richard, monfa video no ento sobame. Na yenhwe se yeni assembly member no ebetimi edi ho enkomo. Enti assembly member no yesi ne phone no L off. Nana Ghana for ehwe ya no pay enti ase. These are the structures. School mofra ekomu school. Obeko from primary now to JSS. Say na ni nyina atie. Enti primary for no ba no pa. Muntie ni ye. Primary. Edeko kosi primary 6 no obo ba no pa. Ewia no na JSS for no aba. Ohwe teachers common room and our staff common room a omo office no ene wodua anase no ana wo hwe na na mpa ohwe anase. Yes, Ghana for ehwe TV no mo amuti already no mo betimi join here live on Facebook. You see, when we talk about Ghana, na ye ba no pa ne ni bre ne atiema amonti ase because mo mpanyimfo ne ye nipa bone for to the extent say wo mo gi loans ni wi ado mo adi, they use it on consumables. Edi tuatua wo mo salaries akese ni wi. These are school children that wo mo suffer 21st century we are one Ghana national for better the same exams. Okay, schools no e won kran ni Kumasi ni Takrade no BC no enkwala we ni omu nyina atro the same thing. Omu we are no omu ni omu nyina kwakopre the same school. What you want ma wo se obi ko third class school enti wabon enti no wako sa school no. The privileges you have today, somebody does not have that privilege. Enti wo da na so we awo bibi abeka aya na wada onyankopon ase se wo ko free fi papam. Na wo koye politician ba. Wonya ade bia ye unique bia. But for the mere fact so papa a politician na we are oman ni sika edema wo no, you should be thankful to your stars. So what cross that na wo hu nkrofo de wo mo struggle, wo mo twa kwan certain number of miles and send wo mo nya access to school, school. These are some of the things that are going on in our country. Enyem payimfo na sema wo mo tenkran ha ensemhuru nko an wo mo di. Wo mo di loan ni wi a ye hu de om di loans ne ye. Okay? So this is it. Ye di pampro no ana abo apata no we no kra ne ye ade a eman no oman ne ma no ekro ne ma no na ahyeda yire wo mo ho no wo mo ayi bibi sei se de be ya wo mo ma no benya ba bi atena sua de. Teacher ni no ono ti duase eho na ye ni office in 21st century.
Kessben.
So these are some of the difficulties, the challenges. Ewo Yellow Krobo. We esi ho nye ne. Obi anso nye na adwen say will come to their aid. This is the situation. Aya na ye won kran, aya na ye adwen say Ghana no eye nkran ko a. Ghana no eye Kumasi ni Takrade nko a. But when you travel into the hinterlands, you will get to understand enkoma ye di anope na okoba your mentality about humanity ebesesa obuo a wo de manipa na ebesesa. Some of these ministers want to know across the crowd. What you say? So that is the challenge. We higher Eastern region, higher Eastern region, higher. When you say baby, when you Western region, Eastern region, higher yellow crumble. Enclave no, and a woman. Not far from Accra. Not far from Accra. It is not far from Accra. It is not. It is not far from Accra. Sankwala we no. One more question and come on the BC. You know, I can say you're different from one way one cry. No, we computer mouse or won't be that. You better draw a board so near the actual. No, say teacher no so any will be Accra na you may be no one is ready to computer. Drawing no cross will be a problem. You look at the desk and quality says so Asiadi. Obey Asiadi.
Kessben.
Oh, dear, your body and Brenamo, you can't gana sema. Namote social media and so namo yamo politics, NPP and this, you know. Munina so under Fourth Republic, Moon Farm Fast will be answered damn reyes, sir. Or my negija. And only question Nana from Paul A. Bisano say, Sikani no afahi. Ye free him yababedruha, ye then yababedruha. Well, we mono, almost one conya free fee. You ready say kitchen stool no. E ma konya na yetena so ofie no wasoa. No the abesku no abetena so pon no de na konya kofi. That is how it is. What you say? MB means municipal authority. Okay, it's a municipal authority primary school na wo hwe na do pay no you look robo. What you say na MB kura ni de na wo ko LED na omo no da form wo koko e da form. Local authority no wo koko e da form. Is serious about education to nipa struggle. Now obedru achimota no ma beka se ode ne yepe. Look at baby akolade ti a watch radio.
Kessben.
Rachel your friend no si yen ko galamsey ni so ansane apon. Why? Na sa galamsey asem we no kra yan kan ka mempon. Yen ko galamsey ni so minister no one Forestry Commission Chief Executive no what must say? What must say how many hectares of lands? Now I report for Chronicle the mommy. How many hectares of forest lands? And I say no. Is it same way no me tipa na asem abufuo. Meba what dia meba Ekufuado will fight cartels degrading forest reserve Jinapo. You see, this is the headline of the Chronicle. Me who headline when I'm bufu here. Ekufuado will fight cartels degrading the forest reserves. Jinapo. What kind of thing is this? Huh? Why do you always insult us? And then at the politicians, you know, Mufa sabi Jimmy for Mukwana Munim Yansa. Cartels no more hefa. The cartels destroying the forest, you know. Where are the cartels? Ministers should tell us where the cartels are. If you know there is a certain group of persons, one more forming cartel, one more nurse forest, you know, Emma forest, no engina. Munim dia mu schools amako mu Harvard amako ni nyina no yekotra mu Harvard se mo mese forest. Ha? Mu Cambridge University na mu koye no. Ene mo Stanford University na mu koye no. Okay? Mo Lincoln University no. Yale University na mu ko America no. What they taught you in those universities no, and it's a mukoba as part of national development. Come and destroy your forest reserves. Ade abrofo ko kire mo no amonka ne enti. Why do you insult us? Now program me employing 40, and we are guided by the West. You use your platform way so. Because one so abediatem. More than 7 years, more spending over 50 million Ghana cedis. Someone they fighting galamsey. 50 million Ghana cedis. What the Sikana Shisikano, I was still Sikana, your minor taxpayers' money. And then you call IMF. And no more approval loans over $750 million. You see, Yanisika by a year, what to say the year America. The nonsense of it. We are here, Unisika. A brand want to be more. Once we stay up, person will leave it inside the Oya Kwabnakesi. And now we are quoting. One cutting will quote according to your size. Me say, or mine, from the time I yes, yes, ye fighting Galamsey, ye the 50 million Ghana cedis, and ye say Galamsey. Galamsey any fight, you know, and to me, and still now, Moshe Forest in him, we colleague ministers now, one more horse say, no, they have concessions. Their people are the ones mining in the forest. And you want people for Namubaya, Mubetre say, God, you know. Go that you want my way, more reserve will be a good room. And you want a moche. Huh? And you want a moche. President Kufuor time now will buy, you know. What is he a forest to be good? Huh? At times by a president, what is he a forest be good? From John Mahama time, Baby see this time, and I am who say money breezy can't move to forest, you know, egu. We are say a Kufuor don't fight cartels. The crabs to know Kufuor do fight cartels. Mobile mode, your friend is a community mining. Your campaign a year against illegal mining. What to church a community mining. And I'm more to church, I'm one of community mining site. And I'm on call for my boys. Hey, did it Mochina Modiomo Galam saying. We will fight cartels. Minister of Nyanzana. Please, I deserve to be angry this morning because we gave you the support. I'm a the first thing I will hear for helicopter. Ghana Armed Forces for helicopter. And you do to fire you the full cry helicopter and you see a cry and can't was it. What you say? For helicopter and a minister will visit it. Yeah, share environment. They said, yeah, say, say. We told you, sir, now we are in a concert party, and yes, you take a Kessben the fighting Galamsey. The forest reserves now one more saying, and yes, you to the Kessben now, we shall botaya Kessben, and I'll bet you they are stopping one. We told you. You took the helicopters, you were getting the bird view of the Galamsey areas. Any site I saying now. Your launching operations for eti soldier force the Gumubium. Ubaye and the Jinapo Ubaye. Yet over $3 billion US. Okay? $3 billion. $3 million. And your Kokoto drones. They say drones, you know. Yes, here they baba monitor. Baby, a Galamsey air cost, you know. $3 million near the Koji loans they buy. Drones in our heaven. And for so pass our drones now, you can't say. Ya de baba fighting Galamsey, they are more mine. And for so pay whatever. The water bodies are still the same. The forest reserves will still not move. Forestry Commission. What's the honor? One chief executive not what granted permit. A man California access into the forest. You are telling us a Kufuor will fight cartels, destroying our forest reserve. Does that make sense to you? We have every reason to be angry this morning because Munteki is serious. Muka asem na ne defa mo yetimi hwe bonim kan kra ne nchemu ti da bia mu fi sebe ye nkwasiafo what you say ensi ho amokofa $3 million edekoto drones ne ba ensi ho mokofa speedboat minister kroya and Jinapo kroya mokofa speedboat aba mo de ba befa all our major river bodies Pra River, Tama River, Densu Hwan, Brim River. $88,000 and an from Pong. Bakubia $88,000. Sir, speedboat now Mukofa the Ben and an apple from Pong. Abo figure in the amount. Won't in a power buy and Akofasa speedboat in the buy. Speedboat to know, Muka said, Monday Babel friends, you know, so I'm the kiss you who said, Obian one mining in water bodies, you know. Sir, boat to know, our heifer. You wasted our money and our resources. And you are on the front page of this newspaper telling us that Kufuor will fight cartels. You are the cartel, the first cartel. And you need to sack yourself. Because Galamsey fight, the more Maakye say, Mama Yan Kuntia Galamsey no. Obianka says he can't from there come Niobi. The countries now you're too good, they have proper ways of doing the mining. ɔman ni nya mu mfasoɔ. And on top of it, what mutu galamsey ni we are no more smuggle gold no withholding taxes as a mutuyama by muntuya. I have every reason to be angry this morning because you, Jinapo, you have failed us as a minister.
How can you fight a cartel, Kwame? Professor from Pobwatini Aquaculture Mampanize and Kofu the presidency, Galamsey.
What the whole defending?
President Tanka was to paper so a report. And the former president said there is a cartel. And what you say the presidency, Galamsey. President Tanka and the cartel not push Professor from Pobwatini away. How can you fight a cartel?
What you want fight a cartel?
Kwame, you can't birthdays. Now, me what fancy be in the birthday. Me person me say na you. Mr.
I don't know my way cry no more yamu masa. Huh? Mo westi sika no yi, we don't charge you causing financial loss to the state. What you say? We don't charge you anything. Timu so ya mo kasa free. Ya the cameras no any microphones they buy. You talk freely to us. But indirectly you are insulting us. Deɛ wo ye nyina minister deɛ wo kra wo ba ye memfa amawudi ema me say wo Jinapo eye wo time ni mo akofa drone ye fence gold catches e de aba eye wo Jinapo time ni ye say ye the speedboat e be fight galamsey yakoto de aba yakra de aba eye wo Jinapo wo time ni na wo say ye mfa drones enye ye de ni nyina aba want me am fight. They have still destroyed our forest after na be fight cartel.
Kessben 92.9. The Maakye.
Na mama yen kan okranche nipa. Na mama yen tira wasa ando omonye sa ade mani sa. Ebekọ aba betu ye nyida. Anta mo so nipa